Well, it's actually not a coin. It's a D2 because I'm a nerd. Yeah, I got these from Kraken.com. If you go there and type in the code 5438, then you'll get a special promo.
Yeah, obviously we're joking. Please don't do that, and please don't sue us. But Kraken, if you wanna sponsor us,
they got good dice.
Hello, everybody. Welcome
with the boys, the best movies to ever win Best Picture at the Oscars. Let's get into this list, man. I'm excited. What is your number 5?
American Beauty.
That's a zoink.
Yeah, let me just get the elephant in the room out of the way. So Kevin Spacey in this movie is playing someone who's attracted to someone who's like in high school. Oh, the prophecies of film. Kevin Spacey obviously did some bad things. I'm not condoning the things he's been accused of doing. I'm not. But this movie, on the other hand, is good. Directed by Sam Mendes.
Of 1917.
Yes. Actually.
Not like he was conceived in 1917. He just...
No.
He's not like 150 or something.
He would be 103.
Yeah, that.
And if he was conceived in 1917, he'd be 102.
Whatever. Stop stalling and defend yourself, sir.
So Lester. Lester's our main character. And he's kind of going through like a midlife crisis. His wife won't sleep with him anymore. He's kind of like sick of his job. And so he quits his job, extorts his boss, and starts living life the way he wants to live it. But the whole thing is kind of like a dark comedy, I guess. And yes, it is. Yes, it is. Don't give me that look. It's hilarious. That dinner table scene is hilarious.
When he's like past the asparagus and he just throws it in the wall.
Yeah.
That is pretty good.
It's totes this like weird line of like we both hate Lester and we also kind of understand some of the things he does, but then we also hate other stuff that he does. And then there's also just like I like it because there's a lot of like awkward humor in it that I find funny. I don't know if it's supposed to. It's like Punch Drunk Love type humor where it's like I don't know if I'm supposed to be laughing or crying, right? I don't know. It's most liberating for him, I guess. And then he does the right thing at the end. He decides that like being a father is more important.
Well, he doesn't really get the opportunity to do the right thing.
Well, he doesn't sleep with the girl.
Well, he thinks about doing the right thing, and then he just doesn't get the opportunity to. Like, the director's intent of what he wants us to think is morally sound, is good.
Well, that's the thing. It's because it's not promoting like any of the things that people do that are wrong in it. He's just simply presenting it and showing like the progression through a character arc.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's like we should all do these things. It's more like a kind of a look at it.
But even so, at multiple parts of the movie, it's a little bit uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah, well, that's an understatement of the year. Yeah. It's fine. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Viewer beware, you're in for a scare because it's kind of messed up. Go watch American Beauty if you feel.
Sorry if that made you uncomfortable, Spencer, but it is like it's an interesting film to look through with 2020 eyes, you know.
Yeah, it won Best Picture.
It won Best Picture.
As far as I'm concerned, it's fair.
So there you go. Should I get to my number 4? 1991's Silence of the Lambs.
It's the Zoink. That was at my
Zoink!
number 6. That was at my number 6, yeah.
Oh, here?
It almost made it on. But damn, this movie's so freaking good.
Directed by Jonathan Demme. It's one of the few movies to like get like the top 5 Oscars. Best actor, best actress, picture. I think Jonathan Demme also got directed. I have not seen any other Jonathan Demme films. I haven't seen Philadelphia, which I want to watch. With
Dude, I haven't seen that either, and I've been so scared to say that out loud.
Silence of the Lambs, if you don't know, is about Clarice Starling, played by Jodie Foster. You seemed like you really wanted to say something. What were you going to say?
No, I just... Clarice. It's Starling.
They're hunting down this killer, Buffalo Bill. Kills and, like, takes the skin of women to make, like, a woman suit for himself.
As we all do.
Clarice and, like, the FBI department go to insanely intelligent psychologist, Dr. Hannibal Lecter, for aid in finding Buffalo Bill.
Yes.
See if he knew him in, like, any of the cannibal cocktail parties. And it's a wonderful film. Anthony Hopkins gives one of the best performances ever. He barely blinks when he's on the screen.
It's very scary.
Captivated. It's just so well done. It kind of feels like Law and Order the movie. Like, it feels like this true crime, like, grit, grayness, and it's just seeped in this, like, dread, so it's hard to watch. It's not like, oh, this is a fun movie to watch, maybe for some people, maybe for Spencer. But, like, when you watch it, like, it really captivates you, and it really brings you into this world that you want to turn away from every second, but you don't, because it's so interesting. And this kind of spawned, like, a whole thing of where it was like it was kind of like the Jaws, but for serial killers. You know?
Like, spawned a boom of these types.
Spawned a boom of that type of movies, but, like...
Even a couple of sequels that were pretty hilarious.
Yeah. 0.000% of people get killed by sharks, and I think, like, a little tiny percentage more than that get killed by serial killers. But it made everybody fearful.
One, it has the best escape I've ever seen in a movie ever. And two, it has one of the grossest things I've ever seen in a movie ever, which is with the that was gross.
Oh my gosh,
dude, that was gross. But and the escape, if you haven't seen the movie before and you're just like going into it, you're like, huh? And then about like eventually you start putting it together and you're like, and when he just peels that off, you're like, oh! I just want to point this out. I feel like, you know, Anthony Hopkins gets a lot of the praise, but I think, dude, Jodie Foster held her own in this.
Jodie Foster held her own.
Because it's very hard to like act opposite of that and not get outshined, and I think she held her own.
And I will speak to the controversy of this movie, of the representation of Buffalo Bill as being like, it seemed like it was painting a bad picture of the transgender community.
Someone in the movie said transsexual, I think, but it's been a while since I've seen it. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, you could say it's painting a negative light, but I don't necessarily see it as it's like saying, oh, no, everybody's like this.
I want to give praise to Jonathan Demme because he saw the controversy of the movie. He said it at the Oscars, and you know what was the next movie he made? Philadelphia. Which is about the LGBTQ community and about showing, like, giving awareness to the AIDS epidemic.
No, yeah, exactly. So I actually think that's really big of him. Like, he kind of realized that what he did may have upset people, and he used that to like try and improve. Yeah. For his night, like that's good. Number one. Do your shoulders like this. Ooh. Do your shoulders like that. Hey.
Do your shoulders like that. Ooh. All right, Spencer, give him that number one. Give him that. Tell them what they already know, Spence.
They already know what my number one is because he spoiled it. Hey, my number one is obviously The Godfather.
That's my number two. So this means that my number one is a zoink for you. But let's talk about Godfather.
Yeah, so The Godfather is literally it's the legitimization of like the gangster film genre. Before that point, it was seen as like B movies. Oh, maybe I didn't. Anyway, Scarface, the original that came out in 1933, it's a hilarious movie. There's a scene where the dude, Tony, he friggin' has like the
Tommy gun.
and he's like literally saying like the most cliche gangster shit. Like he's just like, I'm gonna paint my name across the town in big lights. And he goes like, move out of the way, Johnny, I'm gonna spit. And just like starts shooting at a wall randomly. And you're like, what the hell am I watching? And it's hilarious, but it's not good, but it's hilarious. The Godfather comes up and it's like, yeah, what if we made that a film? Like an actual character study about morality and the dichotomy between like good and evil. And it's like, whoa, this is a movie. Every crime movie after this has somehow been influenced by this movie.
The Michael Corleone.
Yeah.
Played by Al Pacino. Who Al Pacino was kind of angry that, you know, first movie, Marlon Brando wins the Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
Second movie, Robert De Niro wins the Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
Al Pacino don't get none.
I don't know. He's actually really good in it.
Sometimes I like this performance a little bit better than Marlon Brando's.
I don't know if I'd say that, but he's in the movie more than Marlon Brando.
His character doesn't really change all that
Well,
much.
but that's not the actor's fault. That's whoever wrote it. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah, but he doesn't have to do as much.
No, most of the movie has the same demeanor. Pacino has to like go from soldier guy who didn't want to get involved in any of this to like the dark side by the end of the movie. So he has the most amount of like character progression. The Dawn is more like one note. You know, it's more like this is come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding. And you know, it's like that the whole movie.
Has so many iconic scenes. Has so many iconic, like Marlon Brando's performance, Al Pacino's performance, Sonny.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't like the army. You have to come up right here and bada boom all over your Ivy League suit or whatever.
The whole blocking of the whole movie, like the way they block each scene. If you don't know what that means, it just means kind of like how they decided characters would move within a scene. Whatever, like I think there's a scene in particular where like Robert Duvall's character, who I can't remember the name of, is there, and like Sonny's there, and Michael's there, and like they're arguing about what to do, and like they're kind of like dismissing Michael. So like he'll be like sitting, and then like as he like starts getting more power in the conversation, like, the camera will like zoom in on him. Like all of it is blocked to essentially show his progression of power, and then they use lighting to like show his degression of morality. The more morally corrupt he becomes, the darker the lighting gets around him, and like his face is covered in more shadow.
It really leaves you that space to really be like, what are they? What are their motives? Like why do they do what they do? And it really leaves you wanting to study the film, and really leaving you wanting to revisit it over and over and over again. And there's a lot of bloody violence in it too. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's bad. The scene that scared me as a kid was the scene in the restaurant where he like shoots the guy in the throat of the cop, like, and he like gets the other guy in the head. And the part where he gets the dude in the glasses, that part scared me too.
What about the horse head?
That didn't get me.
My number one came out in 1954. On the waterfront. I could have had class. I could have been a contender.
Contender, yes, I knew it.
The Semo Bum, which is what I am. I watched it, and I was like, this is what I need in my movies. Yes! Like, I love everything about this film. The performances are brilliant. It's like low budget, it's gritty. There's so much emotion in it. There's beautiful arc of Marlon Brando's character. Marlon Brando gives one of the best performances of all time.
We really like Marlon Brando on this episode, huh?
He's a favorite of the Academy. What can you say? Like it feels so honest. It feels so real. Everything about this film is amazing. The guy that plays the priest, when he's making that speech about this right here, killing this man in the bottom of the, and he's like at the bottom of this hole, and he's looking up at all these workers of the longshoremen, and he's like, this is a crucifixion. That performance, and he gets like a can thrown at him, and he like starts bleeding.
Yeah.
And I looked everywhere to figure out whether that was actually planned or not, because it felt so natural. Like he was just like, it just hit him. He like tried not to react to it, and then he looked at it, and he just kept going with his speech because he had this power, this anger inside of him. The woman that plays Marlon Brando's love interest is also incredible. This is a film directed by an actor's director. Eliak is an actor. He comes from theater. He comes from honesty. He comes from the origins, the first beginnings of the method acting, which is the method. I forget the name of the guy, but Stanislavski might be the Stanislavski method of acting, where it's take what experiences you had in your life and bring it to that role. You're not acting, you're molding yourself into the character. And I know it's like, oh, method, all that nowadays, but this is a true technique that has born some of the most amazing acting in the world. It's birthed James Dean, it's birthed Marlon Brando, it's birthed Robert De Niro, it's birthed the great actors of our generation. And what I have to say is this movie is everything you want a movie to be.
You have just completely gushed about this thing. There's gush on the screen. Oh, look at it.
How do you feel about On the Waterfront?
Oh, look at the gush. Yeah.
How do you feel about On the Waterfront?
Oh, dude, I really like it. I didn't even hear about it until class this year.
Stay on the Facebook, stay on the Insta. We'll be right. Some babbling with the boys. But until then, stay spicy.
That dramatic pause. Oh my god. Wow. I may have just gotten aroused from that pause. That was amazing. That was Obama levels of pausing. That was an American. We have a responsibility. I love the pregnant pause. Keep doing what you're doing.
The pregnant pause?
Yeah, the pregnant pause. I'm not angry with your list. I accept your list. It's a good list. It's better than mine. I'm taking off the glasses. You get the glasses off. I'm gonna look into the windows to your soul and congratulate you for winning the list competition.
There's no list competition.
This is me shaking your hand, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Well, it's not easy to win one. It's pretty easy to win when one of us has American Beauty on the list.
Leave it alone.
Lawrence of Arabia.
Leave it alone. I like it. I like the movie.